So, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad NURNAIM bin ROSLAN.
And I am ABDUL Hadi.
And me, Muhammad Afiq bin Zulkefli from Sarawak.
People call him Adik. So today we will interview him about his culture in Sarawak.
So Adik, what are the things that makes your culture interesting?
For me, the most interesting about the culture in Sarawak are about the food, because in Sarawak there are many types of food, because according to the races of the Sarawak. For example, like for Melayu, they have cake Sarawak and also mi kolok.
Alright. Adik, do you know much about your culture?
For me, I know a lot of Sarawak where there are a lot of races. For example, like Iban, Melanau, and Bidayu. So among the culture, they have a traditional house, their own traditional house. For example, like rumah panjang. So every races have their own type of rumah panjang.
Okay, so when people from other countries think about your culture, so what do they usually think of? Like, what is their perception on
For
your
me,
culture?
there are stereotype of for Sarawak people where they think that Sarawak people are not very open-minded, where they think that they still live in the forest, you know.
Oh, yes, that's true.
And they are not developed people.
So, in your culture, is it polite to be like, straightforward? Maybe like, since in KL, we tend to hide our feelings. Not feelings, like backlash of a person, macam critic, right? So, how about you? For Sarawak people, do they like?
For me, if you ask about that, actually I am really to straightforward people, because so if they don't like about something, they will straightforward talk about it.
Oh,
Yeah.
they will talk to their face.
Because they don't want to have any conflicts with people.
Okay, so when you came to Malaysia, what is the thing that Malaysia that surprised you the most? Like,
See, for me, when I moved to the Peninsula Malaysia, actually the most thing that shocked me is about the culture, because I really don't know how to speak. For example, like I live Perak, so I struggle a lot on talk. Because I usually talk about Sarawak accent are different from others, and people make fun of me about my accent.
Okay. So since people make fun of you, right, because of your culture, for you, who do you think like is okay with culture, and who do you think is not okay, like the group of people?
For me, the perception of Malaysia still think about the racist about their country, where they not really fully accept of the newcomers came to their country. So actually, they don't like if Sarawak people came to Perak like that.
Oh, yeah.
so what is the thing that you like the most about your culture?
So the most thing that I like about my culture is all that just I mentioned there about foods, and there are also the traditional, the big food. There are a lot of food, delicious food, and also about the culture of the every races that in Sarawak. So basically in Sarawak there are actually have a what we call a culture village, where they show all the races in the Sarawak about their house foods and also their traditional things.
So you are young, right?
Yes.
So how do you think that is different from your older generation culture? I mean, the older generation of Sarawak culture. Do you think it's different than your generation?
For me, the differences between the old generation and now generation are about the patriotism, because before this, the Sarawak have been fight for the independence, and now the new generation are really not really
Prioritize.
advertise about our culture itself. So because before this, they are really take care of the culture, where they are not being racist of the other races, where now we can see that a lot of conflict between Malay, Chinese,
Yes.
and all the other races. So they really put a big gap between every races. So they will affect on the harmony.
The harmony of the country.
Yes.
So do you ever like get confused with your culture and then the culture here?
Actually, I get confused where in Sarawak. First of all, there are few words that I don't really understand in Peninsula Sarawak, and they are bring the same meaning but same word but different meanings for me.
Oh.
For example, like Garrett in Sarawak they call as a girlfriends, but for example like Kedah they call as bicycle.
Oh,
apa?
Garrett. Oh, Garrett.
Garrett.
Garrett is
Oh.
couple. In Kedah, it called as bicycle.
Oh.
So, okay, this is a funny question.
Yes.
So, for example, if alien visit your nation in Sarawak, right? Do you think like it will surprise you because since like okay, take example, tourists come to your nation.
Actually, that of course we are going to surprise because aliens are from other planets. Actually, they are not from the mother of own, and actually we are going to not openly direct accept them because of course they are aliens.
Alien.
Yeah.
So is that the same as tourists?
Actually, tourists we can accept them because they are from other countries, and maybe we can expose our culture to the tourists. For example, like alien, we don't know about the true objective that
To come to your nation.
yes.
Okay. So if you can change one thing about your culture, what would it be?
I will think that I want to change about my culture is racism between country, because that was the most struggle when I moved to the Peninsula Malaysia because they don't want to friends with any friend that came from Sabah or Sarawak.
Alright.
They really don't like it.
Okay. Do you think that the music in Sarawak are different than the music in the peninsula?
Of course, actually, as we all know that every culture have a different their own traditional things. For example, like Sarawak, there are
Music like
there's some kind of music that use I don't know it calls like
tinggi.
no they
You don't know the name?
yes that actually it's like the bamboo and they just make sound.
Oh, from that bamboo.
Yes.
Oh, so it different than the music in Malaysia. Okay. Last.
So if a group of people or like tourists come and try out your culture, what advice would you give them?
The advice that I will give to them is to visit more interesting place in Sarawak, and also try to adapt the Sarawak culture itself. For example, like food, culture, and maybe they can try the traditional clothes
Oh,
in Sarawak.
okay. So,
Okay, so that is all the questions that we have.
so thank you, Afiq, for your time. So we have learned a lot about your culture in Sarawak. So that's all. So from that interview, we know that since Adik is from Sarawak, so when he come to Peninsula, he try to make friends with the Peninsula people. But somehow he said that the racists are the biggest problem there because they somehow didn't understand what Adik's culture is. So he even mentioned that people make fun of his accent. So as you know, that Sarawak accent is different from the Peninsula accent. So when he tried to talk like in a Malay language with his accent, somehow it's different than the Peninsula. So people seems not to understand what Adik is trying to say. So they make fun of him. So Nick, what do you think about that issue?
What I can say about the issue is like from the interview with Adik, you can say that culture is like made up from, as culture is made up from a lot of things like the food, the music, the
It's not just language,
customs.
right?
Yeah, it's not just language. It's just like it's like beliefs, like the way they live. So it's like it is where the term ethnicity comes in. It's like it is used to describe a person's background or like. So, we can see that from Adik's perspective when he came to here, it's like everything is different. Like his way of seeing things in this part of the country is like, oh, that this is how they do this is how they do that. It's like it's different from what he learned or how he experienced when he was in Sarawak.
So I think that's all. We can sum up that people, when they don't understand other people's culture, they tend to think that it's funny than their culture. So we want to say, please don't be racist and accept all culture in this world. Thank you.